And welcome back to the Spiritual Gangster Podcast, the vibe-driven podcast for the soulful and strong. I'm your host, Amanda Pieraldi, and today we're diving into something that might ruffle a few feathers. But hey, you know I'm not here to sugarcoat the spiritual stuff. I'm here to keep it real. So let me ask you something. Are you building a life that feels good, or just one that looks good on paper? Be honest, like really honest. Because I don't know about you, but I spent way too many years trying to curate a life that looked picture perfect from the outside. You know the vibe, smiling family pics, the job title that sounded impressive, the right clothes, the nice home, the I've got it all together mask. And yet, I was exhausted, worn out from performing, disconnected from myself, and honestly, kind of pissed off at life. Because even when things looked right, they didn't feel right. Sound familiar? We're going there today, and we're talking about peeling back the damn filters, literal and metaphorical, and rebuilding a life that actually feels like you. One that's aligned, soul-led, maybe messy, but real and freeing. Grab your coffee, your water, your journal, whatever you need, and let's dive into the shift from surface level to soul deep. Now listen. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting beautiful things. You want to decorate your home like it belongs on a Pinterest dream board? Go for it. You want to take the vacation, rock the outfit, get your hair done? Yes, queen, do it all. But let me ask you this. Are you doing it for you or for them? Them meaning the people watching, the ones scrolling your feed, the ones silently judging or silently admiring. The invisible audience we all pretend we don't have but secretly perform for. Yeah, them. Because here's what I've learned. Sometimes the prettiest life on the outside is the emptiest on the inside. And the truth is, you can't aesthetic your way out of emotional burnout. You can't fake joy. You can't slap a smile on your face and ignore the fact that your soul is screaming for more. More peace, more space, more alignment. More truth. And you know what? Sometimes more looks like less. Less hustle. Less noise. Less saying yes to crap that drains you. Less pretending. Because building a life that feels good is an inside job. It's not a performance. It's a practice. One where you check in with your own energy, your values, your gut, your joy. Not your followers, your bank account, or what your ex's new girlfriend is doing. Let's talk about the inner compass for a second. Because if you're anything like me, there was a time when you couldn't even hear it. You'd buried it underneath people-pleasing and expectations, survival mode, and straight-up exhaustion. But here's the magic. You can always come back to it. Even if it's been years. Even if you've been off course. Even if you forgot what joy even feels like. Coming home to yourself is a process, not a Pinterest board. You start asking different questions. Not what will they think, but what do I need right now? Not will this make me look successful, but does this light me up inside? Not how do I keep up, but where can I slow down? And listen, it takes guts. Because building a life that feels good often requires letting go of one that doesn't. Even if that one makes sense to everyone else, even if it looks good on paper, even if people clap for it. You might disappoint some people when you start choosing what feels good over what looks good. But hear me when I say this. You will stop disappointing yourself. And that's the most sacred shift you'll ever make. Let's get brutally honest for a minute. Sometimes we stay in jobs, relationships, routines, or even friendships, not because they feel good, but because they're familiar, because they make us look stable, or smart, or accomplished, or like we're doing it right. But if you're crying in your car before work, snapping at your kids because you're overstretched, laying in bed at night wondering, is this it? Then babe, it's time to check the alignment. It's time to start asking, is this life actually mine that I'm living? Or is it one that I thought I was supposed to want? You don't need to blow everything up overnight. Although let's be real, sometimes we do get that spiritual wrecking ball moment. But you can start by telling the truth to yourself first, then slowly, bravely, out loud. Tell the truth about what's working and what's not. Tell the truth about what you're craving. Tell the truth about where you've been pretending everything's okay when it's not. Because only from that place of radical honesty can we start to rebuild. Not just prettier, but truer, deeper, aligned. You don't need more followers, you need more presence. You don't need more stuff, you need more peace. You don't need to look like you've made it, you need to feel like you're home in your own damn skin. Here's the truth that hit me like a spiritual slap across the face. Feeling good isn't selfish, it's sacred. Somewhere along the line, we were taught to equate our self-worth to self-sacrifice. That if you weren't grinding, you weren't growing. That if you weren't giving in until you were empty, you weren't being generous. That if you weren't busy, you weren't important. Bullshit. Feeling good, genuinely, soul deep good, isn't a luxury. It's a signal. It means you're in alignment. It means your life is echoing your truth. It means you're not betraying yourself to make someone else comfortable. And that, my love, is what spiritual gangster energy is all about. Because let's be honest, anyone can make their life look good. But creating a life that actually feels nourishing, that's a rebellion. That's a revolution. That's saying, I refuse to settle for a life that looks the part but drains my soul. You know what actually looks good? Boundaries, peace, joy, rest, energy. Loving yourself enough to walk away from what no longer fits. That's hot. That's powerful. You are allowed to want the life that feels like ease, that tastes like freedom, that moves like truth. So let's talk about how to actually start building that life. First, you've got to stop outsourcing your worth. Seriously, take it back. From the likes, from the job titles, from your ex, from your mom's expectations, from society's checklist. Reclaim it. Own it. Because if your value is based on external validation, you'll always be one opinion away from feeling unworthy. Second, get quiet, like really quiet. Because in the stillness, you'll hear the whispers, the ones that say, you're meant for more. You don't have to keep pretending. It's okay to want something different. You get to change your mind. And third, start choosing differently, even in small ways. Maybe it's taking a walk without your phone. Maybe it's saying no to plans you don't want. Maybe it's journaling in the morning instead of scrolling. Maybe it's finally starting the thing you've been dreaming of. Because those small shifts, they matter. They build momentum. They create a life that feels like yours. And let's be real, it's not always going to be aesthetically perfect. Sometimes the most aligned choices are messy, raw, and totally un-Instagrammable. But guess what? You'll breathe deeper. You'll sleep better. You'll stop walking around with that low-grade anxiety buzz in your chest. You'll feel free. And here's something else no one talks enough about. The real glow-up, it's internal. It's when you stop explaining yourself. It's when you stop asking for permission to be happy. It's when your peace becomes non-negotiable. It's when you can sit alone in your own presence and feel whole, not lonely, not lacking, but lit up from the inside out. You become magnetic, not because of what you're wearing, not because your life looks curated, but because your energy is real, clean, grounded, rooted in truth. And people feel that. They may not always understand it, but they feel it. And the right people, they'll rise to meet you there. Because when you live your truth, you give others permission to do the same. So if you've been holding your breath, trying to keep up appearances, this is your permission slip to exhale, to drop the act, to come home to yourself, to say yes to the life that's calling your name, even if it makes no damn sense to anyone else. You don't have to explain your joy. You don't have to shrink to stay digestible. You don't have to keep curating a life that doesn't feel like you. You're allowed to want more, without guilt, without apology, without waiting for someone else to understand it. So what now? You get to choose. Not all at once, not perfectly, but intentionally. You get to start showing up for the life that feels expansive, not performative. For the mornings that begin in peace, not panic. For the relationships that pour into you instead of draining you. For the version of you that's real, raw, and rooted. Start where you are. Start with what you have. And with that courage, say, I don't want a life that just looks good. I want one that feels good. Let that be your North Star. And if you're in the middle of the messy part, rebuilding, rethinking, restarting, I see you. It's brave as hell to walk away from the performance and towards your own truth. But I promise you, your soul will thank you. Your peace will thank you. Your energy will thank you. And your future self will look back and say, damn, I am proud. All right, that's all we have for today, beautiful souls. If this episode spoke to you, then make sure you share it. Text it to a friend, post it, let it ripple. And as always, you can pick up some of my books, The Spiritual Gangster Daily Affirmations, or The Prompted Daily Journal on Amazon to keep those vibes flowing all week long. And don't forget, new episodes drop every Friday right here. So until next time, stay soulful, stay strong, and keep living like a spiritual gangster.